Hey guys, so I owe you a video. I'm a little late. This is sort of the week 5 and week 6 recap, so it might be a little bit long. Hopefully I won't get too carried away. So week 5, that was the week where you had probably too much due. So I gave you guys a little extra time to do it. I didn't give any late penalties for the week, and it also took me a lot longer to grade, just like it probably took you a lot longer to accomplish those assignments. But I was pretty generous in the grading. Everyone did a really good job, so it was easy to be generous. So I just want to recap some of the things that you did that week. First of all, you had to watch some videos, some short videos. One of them was called something like Healthcare Backstage Pass, and it was that animation that went through all the different health professionals that are involved in caring for just a single patient. And what I noticed was it seemed like some of the younger students in the class were really surprised by all the different professions that are out there and how many people there are behind the scenes caring for patients. So that was awesome. And those of you who seem to have a little more life experience or more healthcare experience, either as a patient or as an employee, were less surprised, but still, it was, I think, it's good to appreciate all those people behind the scenes that you maybe don't see or think about. And as a patient or as a coworker, to be grateful for all the behind the scenes work that they do. So whether or not some of you are still very undecided about your career path. Others of you are very steadfast in your goals. But I hope that both camps are still able to you know learn from this course, take away lessons each week, broaden your views of these different professions, and get something out of it. That's my hope. So the other two videos that you watched, one was about vocational courage, whose definition of success are you using? Are you running the right race? And one about bumps in the road or obstacles that you may have to sort of challenge you to think about obstacles that you're having to overcome in your path and how you plan to do that, and kind of had some inspirational stories. And I felt like a lot of you guys had inspirational stories for each other. So that was just really heartwarming to see. I just really appreciated how much everybody opened up and how much I learned about you guys. So that was amazing, and I felt like maybe I should do the same with you guys, give you a little personal tidbit about my vocational path. So I have always loved biology since middle school, high school. I always knew that I wanted to go on and be a biology major in college, and I really thought that I wanted to be a scientist. I read a book about Louis Pasteur, who designed the rabies vaccine. He's the father of germ theory. He's an important historical microbiologist, and he was my idol. And I thought, I want to be a researcher. I want to make great discoveries and be at the forefront of science. That sounds awesome. So I went to graduate school to get a PhD in biology and become a research scientist. Well, a couple years into my PhD program, I realized that as much as I love biology and learning about science, I really didn't like doing it. And um, I had a bachelor's degree. I had already completed the master's requirement. So I had a lot of degrees, but I really wasn't trained to do anything else. So you would think, oh, you have a master's degree in biology. There's lots of well-paid jobs you could get. But I wasn't trained to do anything else except for research. And I knew research was not what I wanted to do. So I felt really trapped. And I felt, I guess if we're going with that video, my definition of success was to get the ultimate degree, to get a PhD and become a research scientist. But I realized that wasn't really my definition of success, truly. My definition of success was having a job that was fulfilling, that I enjoyed, and that made me happy, and that also allowed me to pay my bills. So I wasn't finding that fulfillment in science, and I thought I have to make a change. And so I had to find the courage to quit my PhD program, even though I was doing really well. I had great grades, and my thesis project was going well. and I had a lot of people try to talk me out of it, and they thought I was crazy for jumping ship. But I did it, and I have never looked back. I decided to pursue another passion of mine, which was teaching biology, and it's been very fulfilling for me, and I do not regret that I get paid less and I have a lower title, and people think I was crazy, but it's something I love to do. So it is my definition of success. So that's my story. Maybe some of you can relate to it. I don't know. All right, some other stuff that you had to do in week 5 was you learned a little bit about professional qualities of a healthcare worker, which are really useful to internalize those before doing your job shadow. Consider your job shadow kind of like an early job interview. You want to be on your best behavior, very professional, because if you leave a good impression, that could be a foot in the door for a job down the road. So make sure that you dress and behave in a professional manner. You also did a interest profiler, or 2 of them really, which are like, little quizzes where you answer a battery of questions and then it pops out some results. It gives you, scores you on some traits. And then it also generated a list of healthcare professions or professions in general that would suit you based on those traits. And for some of you, the list was really accurate and kind of scarily accurate. And for others, it was not, there weren't really many jobs you were interested in, which is fine. It's all, it's not an exact science, but it does kind of remind you that to keep your mind open, that there are a lot of professions that you might be well suited for. And especially for those of you who are still undecided, it can be a good sort of starting point to start thinking about these different professions. So I hope it was at least, a little bit fun to see what your results were. Another part of week 5 was you did a little web scavenger hunt with a little quiz to learn about career ladders, and then there were also some PowerPoint notes about the different overview of healthcare professions. So there's sort of different clusters: therapeutic careers, diagnostic careers, health information careers, that kind of a thing. And the career ladder activity was to help you understand that within those different career clusters, there are a number of professions, and they're often arranged at different levels. So you have the entry level, bottom of the career ladder positions, which require less training and also involve less pay. And then as you move up the ladder, you're increasing your level of education and training, and you're also increasing your level of pay. And one of the things that I like about it is it also reminds you that in healthcare, like if you wanted to be, I don't know, you wanted to be a nurse, let's say a nurse. A lot of you guys are going for the RN program, and many of you have experience already working in healthcare in some of these entry-level positions: EKG techs, phlebotomy, nursing aides, and are now working your way up that ladder. And that's a great way to go. You get paid to get on the job experience before you actually go for the extra education to get the extra title and the extra responsibilities. Others of you are trying to go the more direct route. So you may be fresh out of high school and going into the nursing program. So you maybe don't have the healthcare experience and you're going straight for the top of the ladder, which is fine too. Either route is a fine way to go if you know that's what you want to do, and that's going to be fulfilling. But it also reminds you to keep an open mind, especially for those of you who maybe the nursing route is not the right route for you right now. And you have these other options, these entry-level professions that you can use as sort of stepping stones a little bit to work your way up when you are ready. So I think it was James who kind of hit that nail on the head in the discussion with some of the week 6 careers, because the careers that you guys were posting summaries on and commenting on were mostly these entry-level professions, and they are oftentimes great stepping stones to get your feet wet, get experience in healthcare, get to see all the different careers that are in healthcare so that you have a better idea of which one you ultimately want to pursue when working your way up that ladder. So I guess that kind of brings us to week 6 activities, which were a little bit convoluted, that I admit in the end. It made sense in my head. I'm not sure I was explaining it or communicating it clearly, and even when I was grading it, I realized this is maybe a little more complicated than it needed to be. So I changed things for week 7, and so far things seem to be going a lot better. So I hope that you'll forgive me for the confusion of week 6. But you guys did a really nice job researching these different careers, posting career summaries with web videos or web links so people could research it a little bit more. You also did a really nice job in the discussion. I liked people were, asking each other questions, answering each other's questions, delving deeper into the careers, and a lot of you guys had experience in those professions that you were able to share with your classmates, which was also really valuable. I hope you feel that too. So the format for the rest of the course really is the idea that I had with week 6 and that I have for all of the weeks coming up is really that I want you guys to be exploring all these different healthcare professions that are out there, and then kind of coming back and talking about it in the discussion forum. What did you find? What did you learn? What more do you know that you can add to your classmates' learning, whether it be from personal experience as a patient or in that profession? That's also what the interviews and the job shadow experiences are going to accomplish as well. I hope some of you found that in week 6 with the transcripts that were posted there. I always find it really interesting because you really get an individual's perspective. It's not sort of an overview of a career. It's an individual's experience in that profession. And usually the people you're interviewing are people who really enjoy their career and have a lot of positive things and really get to put a positive spin on it, but also can be honest about the negatives of that profession as well. So I always really enjoy reading through the interview transcripts. I hope you guys do as well and learn a lot about the careers that people are interviewing. But it's also a really valuable experience for you to be conducting these interviews. And I encourage you to do it informally with healthcare professionals or anyone that you meet who has a job that you want to know more about. I do it all the time since I've started teaching this course. I'll be like at the dentist getting my teeth cleaned. I'm like, so how'd you decide to become a dental hygienist and where'd you go to school? And people actually really enjoy talking about their jobs, especially when they like them. So it's a great way to get to know more about different career fields. Just talk to people about it. So that is, let's see, that was week 6. And week 7, so each week of careers, I've basically kind of grouped them in sort of themes or fields. So there will be multiple jobs in a given field. So week 7 was all very medical, so physicians and surgeons and physician assistants and medical assistants and surgical technicians, so all in that medical field. There will be a week where we do all the nursing professions and nutrition and veterinary and alternative medicine. There's just going to be sort of a different theme each week. I try to kind of get careers that are within sort of theme groups and also professions in those themes at different levels in the career ladder for you to research. So that's all I have to say. Sorry it was a little bit long and rambling, but I just wanted to have that connection with you. And if you have any questions, of course, please, I welcome your feedback. I hope you can see that I've incorporated it as the course comes together. My ultimate goal with this course is just for you guys to not overstress yourselves and overwhelm yourselves with the amount of work. I don't mean for it to be overwhelming. I just want you to have the opportunity to explore these different professions, share it with each other, and sort of process it and think about it. So I really appreciate all the feedback that you've been giving and continue to welcome it. So contact me if you need me. I'll stop talking now. Bye.